You build up sexual tension and you make sure that you don't lose it. One of the things that I love in training a submissive is edging. And edging is, it's a principle actually that I heard that it's also used a lot in Tantra. I'm not an expert on Tantra, but I can imagine because within Tantra what you do is you build up sexual tension and you make sure that you don't lose it. And edging is fantastic for that. I gave this to a friend of mine who is completely vanilla, but she really liked this, the edging. I'm probably not the only woman that uses, I don't do that anymore because I can't come without permission anymore, but I used it too in the past when I couldn't sleep. So what I did was I played with myself until I came, I got an orgasm and I could sleep. Boonk. But what happened is that I lost all my sexual energy in that. So it influenced our relationship. And that's not a good thing. So there is a different way that you can work on it, and it's called edging. And it's fantastic for submissive training. But what edging is, it's very simple. What you do is you play with yourself until that moment that you feel that you're going to orgasm, and then you stop. You have to stop a little bit before. And when you're training it, you'll probably go over the edge every now and then, which is fine. But you should try to keep it down there. So my master sometimes let me edge for weeks. Just building up all that sexual tension and energy. And it's fantastic. I'm on fire. All my senses are like extra sharp. I'm having a lot of focus. I'm having a lot of productivity. It's all because of that sexual energy. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's just building up. And this is what edging is doing, and that is why I love it so much. But of course, it's also a fantastic way to keep your submissive hot and wet all the time. So this is also why it's fantastic to use it. Usually my master uses it to keep me hot and wet for sure, but he does it a lot to combine it with assignments. Especially because he loves to get the connection between pain and pleasure. So he lets me build up that energy. Then because in a way, also what happens when I'm edging is that all the blood goes there, right? All the blood goes to my pussy. So and then he lets me belt it or something, just because it's extra sensitive. And in a way, it's creating more sexual energy, but then a different one, because then it's also connecting the pain to the pleasure, but it's adding only. So this is how you can use edging for training purposes, but also for yourself. So if now, I mean, I also don't have permission to touch myself to edge without permission. But I have an assignment that I have to edge 3 times a day. So that I do for 10 minutes. So usually what I do is I plan one of them. I plan it before I go to sleep, because then I sleep like a baby. I mean, I edge and I snore. That's it. So it's fantastic. So I can totally recommend it. It's wonderful to play, to let your submissive play with it. It's in a way, it's also very good to help her controlling her orgasms. And that is fantastic if you want to go for orgasm denial and orgasm training. My master trained me to come on command. So it means I can just be here. He can send me a WhatsApp message even and tell me to come, and I can come. This requires a lot of built up sexual energy. You cannot do it like this, because yesterday we had an amazing scene and I came like forever. So right now it's not possible. I won't be able to come. But if he builds it up for a few weeks, and then he needs to re-establish the anchors for it, but then of course I could. So this is also fantastic if you want to do some orgasm training. This is also fantastic. So edging, I think it requires a place in every training. For a submissive, for sure, if you want to train them sexually. It also helped for me a lot to get to know my body. In a way, we're all wired that sex for us is always going towards an end. And the only thing we're doing is we're working towards that end. We're working towards an orgasm. And when you're edging, you don't. You're just building it up. And if you're in a really nice BDSM relationship where orgasm denial has a place, It means that you can have a scene that takes 3 hours and you still don't come, but you have the time of your life. So edging is fun in a lot of ways. So if you want to try it out. If you want to know more about it and you would like to play with it a bit, I created a submissive training. So there's 7 different topics in it, and one of them is edging, is orgasm denial, orgasm training. So, but there is a lot of edging all the way through it. So if you want to try it, you're very welcome to try it. So play with passion.